So exciting times are ahead as F1 2021 has just been announced and it will be releasing on July the 16th for next gen and current gen as well. Now for this video I decided to not only break down the announcement trailer but also just find out as much information as possible about everything that's happening with F1 2021. So let's start with the trailer, which is all about the brand new game mode, Breaking Point. Now I've gone ahead and I've got all the spoken parts of the trailer on the screen now, and we will quickly go through them. So the first line that comes up is, "He tried to stop them from signing you." Now I believe this is actually the returning character of Devon Butler. Now if you don't know who Devon Butler is, he was basically the main antagonist in the 2019 career mode, I believe, where you started in F2 and basically he was just a bit of a wind up, a bit of a knob, and yeah. The next line is, "Anything for our star driver." Now this is an unknown character at the moment, and I think it's possibly a team boss. Now it could either be a team boss of the F2 teams or of an F1 team. Now we know that it's going to be either of these because one, the video is very blue and red, so blue is for F2 and red is for F1. But also it was confirmed on their Instagram account, of the F1 official Instagram account I should say rather, that it is going to be played over F2 into F1. So Breaking Point will start in F2, which is cool, and then we'll move to F1. Now with this possibly being a team boss, if this is an F1 team boss, it could either be for a current team or, more excitingly, it could be for a made up team, so either an 11th or possibly even 12th team, as there is 3 new characters. I say 3 new characters, obviously you've got the returning Devon Butler, who obviously isn't new but is a character. We then have Aiden Jackson, and then we also have Casper Ackerman. And obviously with that, that is 4 drivers including yourself, so Devon, yourself, Aiden and Casper, so that'll be 4 new drivers, which could result in 2 other added teams to the 10 current teams of the grid, so 12 teams if they were to do something like that, which would be really cool in my opinion. Then the next line goes to Crofty from Sky, and it goes, "Here we go, Ackerman is going for it, down the inside of the hairpin, oh this can't work." So to me that insinuates that there's going to be an accident at the hairpin and there's going to be a bit of fisticuffs maybe. It then goes back to Devon Butler narrating, and he says, "It takes a brave man to admit he can't compete anymore. We all felt sorry for you, mate. You never stood a chance with him." And as he says this is where it's very blue, so I assume F2, and someone is standing on top of the podium. Whether that is you or one of the other drivers or even Devon, we don't know. I assume it isn't Devon, as he's the one narrating it. That would be a little bit weird, but you never know, I guess. And finally, the last line of the trailer is, "You want respect, you give respect. That's how it works." And we don't actually know who's saying this, at least I didn't recognise the voice anyway, but it could possibly be Ackerman, as he is referenced earlier in the trailer. Now obviously this whole thing sort of hints towards it being very feisty rivalry, almost like Hamilton-Rosberg sort of rivalry, Lauda-Hunt rivalry, you know, just big rivalry, Senna-Prost, massive rivalry. So yeah, it's definitely gone down that kind of feel, which should be quite interesting to see how it works out. The other thing to notice is that there actually is writing in the trailer which comes up and says, "How far will you go before you reach your breaking point?" Obviously trying to get breaking point in there. So yeah, that's mainly the trailer. Obviously F2 to F1, big thing from that. We also have 3 characters in there of Devon Butler, Aiden Jackson and Casper Ackerman. And yeah, just generally quite interested to see what they do with this. In the 2019 one, it didn't last particularly long, only 3 races in F2, and then you were just thrown into F1 as if nothing happened. So I'm hoping this time that is a bit prolonged, or more prolonged than that, and yeah, it's a bit feisty throughout. That would be pretty cool. So that's pretty much the trailer broken down. Let's move on to everything else that I could find out about this game. Okay, so currently there are 2 versions for you to pre-order. You have the standard and a deluxe version. The standard edition in the UK anyway is $59.99, and it includes the Breaking Point content pack and 5,000 Bitcoin. The deluxe edition will cost you $74.99 in the UK, and with that you get the game, the Breaking Point content pack, the My Team Icons pack, and 18,000 Bitcoin. Oh, and you get the game 3 days earlier. So with the Breaking Point content pack, you not only get the 3 drivers that we talked about earlier, as well as the addition to the game of Breaking Point, but you also get those 3 drivers' character avatars to use as your avatar. You get a car livery, a suit, gloves, helmet, and a brand new feature of victory radio voices, which I assume is a bit like, when Bottas wins a race, if for some reason he always goes, "To whom it may concern, F you." So if we can do something like that, that would be really cool, and also online, that would be so funny. Looking at the My Team Icons pack, you get 7 iconic drivers to enhance your My Team game experience. Now, I'm pretty sure out of the 7, I could guess 3, possibly 4. So the 3 that I'm pretty sure will be in the game are Senna, Prost and Michael Schumacher, as they have been in the last 2 games. We had Senna and Prost in 19, and in 20 we had Schumacher. And my strong contender for a legend is Niki Lauda, as he passed away half recently, and he was definitely a legend of the sport. Definitely had some of that grit that they're looking for in Breaking Point by the looks of it. As for the other 3, it could be anyone really. Depending on eras, you could have Fangio, Sterling Moss, Graham Hill, maybe James Hunt, Jim Clark. More recently, Mika Hakkinen, Damon Hill, Jenson Button, Pastor Maldonado. Who knows? It could be anyone. Anyway, let me know in the comments below who you think should be the 7 legends in this Legends pack. I also found something quite interesting when I was looking at the Pitcoin on the Xbox website, as it says, returning items are car liveries, race suits, gloves, helmets, emotes and poses, which we obviously had in F1 2020. But there are 3 new items coming to 2021 which you can spend your Pitcoin on, and they are multiplayer sponsored decals, personal stickers and victory radio calls, as we said earlier. So yes, we've got some new items to spend your Pitcoin on. And finally on Steam, we're just going to go through all the features that are in this game. So obviously we have Breaking Point, which we've mentioned and the whole trailer is about. We have new ways to play with a 2-player career mode, which is really cool. So you can either be on the same team or you can be rivals, which is pretty cool either way. We also have a real season start. So from what I've gathered with this feature, basically, let's say we got to Spa in real life and you wanted to do the rest of the season with, say, Sebastian Vettel in his Aston Martin. You could play from Spa onwards with the actual real life season results before actually in your season, which is quite a nice feature, I think. We also have the return of My Team mode, which I'm very happy about. We also have expanded driver stats that now include focus and new team critical department events to address as well. We have the return of split screen racing for 2 players. We have more casual race options and even more expert options to give players more control that want it. We also have updated R&D for career mode and practice programs, along with a new quick practice feature, which is about time, as practice is probably one of the most boring things to do in career. And the practice programs have been the same for years, I think. So yeah, it's good that they're actually changing those now. F2 is also returning in this game with the full 2020 season, with the 2021 season being added later in the year via an update. Esports also returns along with multiplayer and every other game mode that seems to be previously in the 2020 title. I am hoping that they update multiplayer a little bit, as it was quite slow trying to do a ranked one. And yeah, I just think they need a few more features. So I'm hoping with EA buying Codemasters that multiplayer should just be a bit better this year. Fingers crossed.
Nope.
So I almost forgot, we also have 3 brand new tracks coming to this year's game in Jeddah, which hasn't actually been finished yet. So that will be added at a later date, similar to the F2 content. We also have the return of Imola, and for the first time in an F1 game, Portimao, which I am very much looking forward to racing on. Alright, so that's pretty much everything I could find out about the trailer and the game in general. If I have missed anything, then I do apologise, but let me know in the comments if there's anything I've missed. But yeah, really looking forward to this and interested to see what Breaking Point's about and the new features that they've added. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then smash that like button, and if you want to see more content like this, then subscribe to the channel. Alrighty then, I've been Jumbo, and I'll see you in the next one.